Hello and welcome to the Academia and Research Collective. My name is Darren Lau, and today we're going to be going over how to generate hypotheses and engineering goals. Now, this video builds off of our last two videos where we discussed choosing research topic and also creating an engineering question. I like to think that all these three videos go hand in hand together, but today we're going to be focusing on hypotheses and engineering goals. So let's get into it. Firstly is a hypothesis versus an engineering goal. Hypothesis is something you predict will happen, while an engineering goal is things you want your engineering project to be able to do/include. For hypothesis, you'll be making an educated guess based on what you've learned through your research, while an engineering goal, you're just basically writing out what you want your project to be able to achieve when it's done. Now, here's a simpler comparison as well. If you're testing and investigating something like a factor, right? You're testing whether a factor causes some kind of change, you're going to use a hypothesis. But if you're designing and building a solution, then you will use an engineering goal. So firstly, for a hypothesis is a clear testable solution, a prediction based on what you already know, right? It's a prediction that is grounded in the research that you've done. It's not some random prediction, but it's a prediction based on the research you did, maybe while you're looking for your research topic or your research guiding question, and it is testable and it is clear. Here is the simple formula for a hypothesis. If independent variable, then dependent variable because scientific reason. If, then because. Remember those three words. Every hypothesis should have those three words. But the formula is that if some kind of independent variable that you're changing changes, then something else will change because of a scientific reason. That scientific reason is based on the research that you've done in the past and from your knowledge. Here's a simple hypothesis example. The topic is sleep and test scores, and our guiding question is how does sleep duration affect academic performance in high school students? So our hypothesis is if students sleep fewer than 6 hours per night, then their test scores will decrease because sleep is essential for memory consolidation. All three parts, if, then, because, the independent variable, dependent variable, and also the scientific reason based in memory consolidation. Here's a more advanced example. If multilingual high school students use spaced repetition over a 30-day period, then the long-term retention of academic material will be significantly higher than those using mass practice because distributed learning enhances synaptic consolidation and reduces cognitive overload. Once again, it's a bit more wordy, but it has all those three major parts, if, then, because, independent, dependent variable, and also the educated guess based on a scientific reason. Now, an engineering goal is a list or statement of what you want to build and what it should achieve. It's that self-explanatory. If you want to build something, then write out what you want that thing to be able to do, what it should achieve, maybe some benchmark it should pass, right? Here's a simple example. Topic, flooding in urban neighborhoods. Your engineering goal will be then design and test a low-cost modular rain garden system that will reduce surface runoff in residential urban areas. It's very clear. And so what you're going to build, a low-cost modular rain gardening system. What will it do? Reduce surface runoff in residential urban areas. Here's a more advanced example. Now, even though this is 3 bullet points, it's still one engineering goal. Maybe for an engineering project, you have multiple things that you want to achieve, multiple things it uses, multiple thresholds it wants to pass. So it is perfectly okay for an engineering project to have multiple bullet points, 3, 5, maybe even more, right? So this one, though, basically has 3 main parts. First, develop a real-time augmented reality navigation system. Second is develop a deep learning image registration module. And third is to create a modular 3D printed surgical phantom. Now, you'll notice, though, about this engineering goal is that there are actually specific measurements in there, achieving less than 1 millimeter alignment accuracy or under 2 millimeter localization error. Those specific numbers or thresholds you can absolutely put into an engineering goal. Maybe there's some threshold that you want to be able to beat to, outperform the current solution. So throwing in a benchmark number for you to surpass is a great engineering goal to have. So yeah, that's really it. This was a shorter video once again, but we compared the hypotheses and engineering goals. So hopefully you'll be able to create your own now. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much for watching the Academia and Research Collective.